You're strapped into a metal cage. They're about to flip you upside down and submerge you underwater. You have to wait until the cage stops moving, then unbuckle yourself, find the window, and swim out while you are upside down in the dark. This is helicopter underwater escape training. You have not even gotten the job yet. This training is mandatory before you work offshore. The training costs between $900 and $2,000. You pay it. The course takes 3 days. On the last day, they put you in that simulator, a mock helicopter fuselage, and flip it. Some people panic, some people fail. You pass or you do not work. Why does this exist? Because helicopters crash. Not often, but when a helicopter goes down over water, you have maybe 90 seconds before it sinks. The fuselage flips. You are disoriented. Cold water, no visibility, seatbelt still on. If you have not practiced this exact scenario, you drown. So they make you practice drowning. You pass. Now, you are certified for 4 years. Now you can actually go to the rig. The helicopter ride out is strange. You are flying over the Gulf of America, and for a long time there's nothing but water. Then you see it, a tiny industrial platform in the middle of nowhere. As you get closer, it gets bigger, much bigger. This thing is the size of a small town, but it is alone out here and it is shaking. You land on the helideck. The noise hits you first, not loud like a concert, loud like standing next to a freeway, but the freeway never stops. Drilling equipment, pumps, generators, all running at the same time, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Then the vibration. Everything is moving. The deck under your feet, the railing, the walls. You can feel it in your chest. Someone walks you to your cabin, 6 feet by 8 feet. Bunk bed, 1 porthole, 1 roommate. Your roommate works the opposite shift. If you are on days, he is on nights, so the cabin is rarely occupied by both of you at once. Older rigs used to have 4 or 6 people in a room. This is an upgrade. You drop your bag. 12-hour shift starts now. You are a roustabout, lowest position on the rig. The job is manual labor, lifting, moving, painting, cleaning, greasing. There is a saying out here, if it moves, grease it. If it does not, paint it. You spend your first shift doing both. The work is physical. You are lifting over 50 pounds regularly. You're outside in the weather. If it is summer in the Gulf of America, it is hot. If it is winter, it is cold and wet. The rig does not stop for weather. The rig does not stop for anything. When this thing is drilling, it costs the operator over $200,000 per day. That was the price in 2015. It is higher now. Downtime is existential, so the work continues. 6 hours later, you eat. Food is served every 6 hours because the rig runs 3 shifts around the clock. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, midnight meal. The schedule exists because someone is always working and someone is always sleeping. The food is decent. Some rigs are better than others. You eat fast and go back. Hour 12, first shift ends. You go to your cabin. You lie down in the bottom bunk. The rig is still shaking. The noise is still there. It is not loud inside the cabin, but it is persistent. A low hum, a vibration you feel more than hear. You close your eyes. You try to sleep. You can't. This is the moment some people know. Studies of workers on Norwegian North Sea rigs found that sleepiness peaks during the first days of night shifts and swing shifts. It gradually decreases as days go on, but those first nights are brutal. Your body does not understand why you are trying to sleep while everything around you is moving and humming. 23% of swing shift workers on North Sea rigs meet the clinical criteria for shift work disorder, chronic sleep problems that affect their social, family, or work life. You eventually fall asleep, maybe. 3 hours later, an alarm goes off. Emergency drill. You have to get into full personal protective equipment, hard hat, coveralls, steel-toed boots, gloves, and report to your muster station outside. You stand there for 30 minutes while the fire team completes their training. Then you go back to your cabin. You try to sleep again. Your phone does not work out here. No signal. There is Wi-Fi, but it is limited. You can do video calls with your family, but you cannot download movies, cannot stream, cannot do much else. Some people say they feel more isolated now than they did 20 years ago when there was no contact option at all. Back then, you just accepted you would be gone for 2 weeks. Now you can see your family on a screen every day, but you cannot touch them, cannot help them, cannot be there. It is a different kind of distance. Hour 24, second shift. Your body is adjusting or it is breaking. Some people quit after the first hitch. Some people quit after the first 48 hours. The ones who stay say the noise becomes normal after a few days. The vibration becomes normal. The confined space becomes normal. But those first 2 days, nothing feels normal. And that is just what you are earning, the cost of keeping you out here, the helicopters, the supply boats, the food service, the medical crew. That is a whole other layer. We will get to that. But first, if you're actually curious what life on these rigs looks like beyond the first 48 hours, hit subscribe and leave a comment. Which sounds worse to you, the drowning simulator or trying to sleep through your first night shift? I genuinely want to know. Hour 48. You've worked 2 12-hour shifts. You've eaten 4 times. You've tried to sleep twice, maybe succeeded once. You're making somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000 a year. Your roommate's annual salary is a rounding error in the daily operating budget of this rig. But here's what you're also learning. Advancement to roughneck takes about 1 year. Roughnecks make $50,000 to $70,000 a year. After that comes assistant driller, then driller. Drillers make $75,000 to $100,000 a year. That progression takes 5 to 10 years, but it's a clear path. You know exactly what you're working toward. And the schedule starts to make sense. You work 14 days, you go home for 14 days. Some rigs do 21 and 21, some do 28 and 28. When you're out here, you're completely locked in, no commute, no errands, no distractions, just work and sleep. When you're home, you're completely off. No emails, no calls, nothing. Some guys love this rhythm. They say it's the only job where you can actually be present in both places. The rig feels like prison and freedom at the same time. By hour 48, you know if you're staying or quitting. The people who quit say the isolation is unbearable, the noise never stops, the work is too hard for the money. The people who stay say the opposite. They say the isolation is peaceful, the noise becomes white noise. The work is hard, but it's honest, and the money is good for someone with no degree. You think back to the drowning simulator. That was the easy part. That was just proving you would not panic when a helicopter flipped over. The first 48 hours is proving you can live in a place that never stops moving, never stops making noise, never stops demanding your attention, a place that costs $250,000 a day to operate and will replace you in a week if you cannot handle it. Some people cannot, some people can. By hour 48, you know which one you are. Subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks.